Hey everybody, this is Linda from Colonial Beach Kitchen, and welcome to my kitchen today. I am making Italian style breadcrumb chicken legs. At least that's what I call it. Anyway, what I've done is I've thawed out some chicken legs, and now I'm putting them in the pan. And I'm washing my hands, but I'm going to cut that out. And I decided to speed it up. All I'm doing is putting the chicken in the way that I like it. And now I'm chopping up some garlic. You can use powdered garlic or regular garlic, but I decided to actually use a little bit of real garlic, well, regular garlic and powdered garlic. It's all real. So here I'm just checking the onion because it got a little bit of a different color, and oops, that slipped away. I wanted to make sure that it was good, so I was just smelling it for a minute. And now, rather than bore you with how to chop garlic, I'm going to cut out some parts here and there. So this video will be a little choppy, but bear with me. I didn't want to make it too long and boring. So now what I'm doing is using various spices. I'm using, I'm not sure which one that was, parsley or oregano. I'm using parsley, oregano, and basil. You'll see as I go through. And for some reason this wasn't coming out. So I lifted the top and realized it was way too full. So when I put the spices on the top, I leave the caps off. And that way I know what I've already put on there. So now I'm just putting the, I guess it's oregano now, on there. And then I'm going to put some basil. And I have made this mistake before where I've opened the wrong side and put way too much. So I opened the sprinkle side. Now I'm going to leave those there and rearrange the chicken and turn it. And then that way when I go back, I know which spices I've already put on because the caps are open. So I'm just now kind of fussing with it because I want the bigger pieces in the middle. And I just arrange them so they cook better. And now it's time to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the top of this chicken. I try not to use too much, but I like a little bit. I didn't used to like olive oil, but now I'm starting to really get a hankering for it once in a while, so I use it more often. And now I'm just putting the same spices that I did originally put on, and when I'm done I'm putting the caps on and closing them. That way I don't double up on the same spice, and then I'll take that out of my way. And now it's time to put the garlic on, so I just kind of sprinkle that on top. There's no need to try to get it around the bottom because it's all going to drip down. And so there's really not much to say about putting garlic on chicken, so I get bored with this and speed it up. Okay, now it is time to fuss with the arrangement of everything, and notice that I'm keeping my utensils separate so I don't have to touch the chicken. And now I'm adding a little powdered garlic just to kind of add a little more flavor to it. And now I'm just taking regular breadcrumbs. You can use Italian style, but I've already put a lot of Italian seasoning on there. But I just like to throw some breadcrumbs on top. I don't like to go through the whole process of breading and with the eggs and the flour and all that. I just throw a little breadcrumbs on top, and it kind of tends to soak up some of the oils. And so you can, you know, either eat the breadcrumbs or take them off. But it gives it a different kind of a flavor. So now what I'm doing is taking the tin foil and stretching it so that I can get some holes in it. I like to put some holes in the tin foil because if it's too tight, the chicken will tend to steam. So now I'm just folding under the edges because I want some airflow in there, but I also want to protect the top so it doesn't burn. Now, I had to go to dark to show you that I'm turning the oven to 350, and now I'm putting it in, and we'll be back when it's all cooked. Now we're going to make lemon pepper beans, and to make this recipe you need a bag of frozen green beans. If you're very adventurous, you can use fresh beans. You need a lemon, some black pepper, some kosher salt or regular salt, and some butter. Don't worry, we're not going to use the whole stick. Now you want to dump the beans in your pan, a little bit of salt, take it over to the faucet, fill it up till it's just covered, bring it back to the stove. You want to cover it up and turn it on high. Now, once it comes to a boil, you want to lift the lid and lower the heat to let it simmer. So when your beans reach the desired tenderness, which you can tell by putting a fork in, then it's time to drain the beans. I'm going to turn off the burner. I'm going to drain these real quick and bring them back. And that is the reason that I did not put too much spice in there when I was boiling it, because I knew I was going to drain all that water out. So the salt should have soaked in. So now I'm adding some butter. You can add as much as you like. I tend to like a little less butter. Actually, that's not true. I like a lot more butter, but my doctor recently told me that my cholesterol is high, so I have to do everything I can to try to keep it down. But I like to just season my beans with lemon pepper. And I had some lemon pepper, but the problem is I opened it up and it was hard as a rock and it smelled terrible. So one thing I want to tell you when it comes to spices, make sure you check your spices regularly. Because sometimes you forget about a spice, don't use it for a while, and it just goes bad. Anyway, I'm going to add a little more kosher salt, mostly because I just really like grinding this thing. But since I don't have lemon pepper already made, I'm just going to stir this around a little bit, get that butter. I might have overcooked the beans just a little bit, but I'm going to grind a bunch of pepper in there, and I'm going to stir it. And that's the key. I don't know how these cooks do it, where they put all the ingredients in one spot and then they stir it just a little bit and they say, oh, the flavor's all through it. No, it's not. Anyway, since I don't have the lemon pepper, I'm going to cut a lemon. A little more lemon juice. That's good. And give it a stir. I'm going to put this back. The burner's still kind of hot, so I'm going to put it back. I'm going to give this a taste. Oh my goodness, this is better than using the pre-made spice. I'm going to do this from now on. I'm going to add a little bit more black pepper. If you have never tried this, lemon pepper on green beans, you really should. It's really good. And if you don't have lemon pepper, just use black pepper and a lemon. So, I've never tried it with lime, so, but, and I like to let it rest, just like meat. I like to let it rest for a few minutes before I eat it. That's good. So, cover this sucker up, leave it on there. My chicken's almost done, and pretty soon we'll have a meal. We're going to move this back to here. Take that away, we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to get us, I like to have the smaller ones. I also like to roll them around in that juice. I know I'm supposed to be cutting down on the fat, but I just, you know, sometimes you just have to live a little. You can't go your whole life being healthy all the time, because some of the healthiest people just boom, they go like that. So anyway, I'm sure you're looking at all this butter on this bread too. The butter I could have been putting in the beans, I just put on that bread. So, but that's okay. Anyway, my beans are a little mush, but that's the way I like them. So there you go. that's your meal. Nothing super fancy, but it really tastes good. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give me a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you never miss a meal.